What is going on, everyone? Stevo Supremo here, and I am back to go over my 2025 Game of the Year, just a 2025 recap video of everything I kind of did. Movies, music, if you're into all that stuff. We'll touch a little bit on all of it if you're interested, but mainly game focused stuff here. We'll talk about my games. I'll try not to drag this out too long. I apologize this took so long to do. The fall season is very busy in the Stevens household. My son, he's in high school basketball, so I mean, starting at the October all the way through to February, we're like swamped with that stuff. I work till 5 in the evening, so I find hard enough time to actually play video games, much less make a video about video games. It is really tough. So, and again, I've also been enjoying other things like some movies and YouTube and TV shows that I hadn't watched and some new ones that came out this year. It's just been awesome watching that stuff. You know, sometimes when you get home from work after a long day, you want your mind to just rest. So you just sit down, watch some YouTube or watch a show or something rather than beat on a game and have your mind going again to have to think through things. So gaming took a little bit of a dip this year, but still, we'll go over all of it. So let's get into it. You know what? We'll start with the games first and foremost, and then I'll get into some other stuff if you're into that afterwards. Speaking of gaming, I'll go over real quick. YouTube, my most watched YouTube category, of course, was video gaming this past year. But for my second category, it said it was food stuff, which kind of blew my mind. It's like, I don't look up a whole lot of food stuff. But then when I was like, oh, you know what? I think his name is Paolo from Tokyo. I hope I'm saying his name right. All his behind the counters and stuff like that, I love watching it because love Japanese food and the culture and stuff over there. So anytime he makes a video, I watch it. And he does a lot of food videos. And then Beard Meets Food. I watch his new video every Sunday. So it started to make sense. Like, okay, that's why that's my number two category. Another gaming thing, streaming in Twitch. My most watched Twitch channel last year, they said, was Pete Dorr, which again, big fan of Pete Dorr and all his content. So I try to support him any way I can. And he always gets my Prime subscription every month on his Twitch page. So yeah, anytime he has a stream come on, I normally, if I'm not watching it, I lurk a lot in there. So I'll put his stream up on the computer screen still, have him playing in the background. I'll take the volume all the way down to like 1 and just sitting there and lurk and just kind of maybe watch another show on the other screen or some other YouTube while he's playing a game. And then if it's a game I'm really into and I want to watch and watch him play through, turn the volume up and start watching it. So he was my number one, and I can't remember who the number two and stuff were. So other than gaming stuff, the last thing, if you're interested, on my Spotify, my most listened to group this year apparently was Winger. If you don't know who Winger is, look them up. Awesome, like 80s hair metal. Love their stuff. And for some reason, I guess they always found their way in my playlist, like through Spotify, making the list for me and playing through songs. Somehow they always made it in there. So that was my number one band. Who else had Winger as their number one band on Spotify last year? I was shocked when it said it was on mine. And it said my average listening age was 57. I'm a 40-year-old man, so apparently I like really old stuff, which, yes, I can pretty much listen to anything and enjoy it. So I am an old soul. I do love my older music. So let's get into actual game stuff now. I'll put my list on here. Let's bring it up. And again, I saw so many other videos already. We had the Game of the Year awards was what, 2 months ago. All my friends on YouTube, seeing all their top 10 and top 5 lists of the games they played, like Fem Trooper, Happy Console Gamer, Emperor Fox, Alex Return to Mother Base. The list goes on and on. There's so many people, their top 10 lists. I just enjoy watching and seeing everything they've played and enjoyed over the past year in 2025. So here's my list. We're late to the party, but we will get into it. And I will just say it right off the bat. We'll get it out the way. No point in waiting till the end. What is my game of the year? For 2025 releases on the 2025 or 25 games I beat in 2025, for the new releases that came out this year, I think Still Wakes the Deep was 2024, so I'm could be wrong, but yeah, I don't think that came out this year. It wouldn't have won anyways. But Monster Hunter Wilds came out this year. Doom: The Dark Ages, Mario Kart World. Let's go down my list. Dragon Quest 1 HD was a remake though, so do I really count it? I don't know. Donkey Kong Bonanza and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So that's 6 for sure new games that came out this year for 2025 that I played. And you'd probably think my game of the year would be Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, since I'm a big Metroid fan. That's my #1 series franchise that I love playing. So you would think that would be my game of the year, but it's actually not. I loved Metroid Prime 4. It was awesome. I know people had their complaints about the desert world, which, yeah, it wasn't the best place to go exploring around, but it did kind of give me that breath of fresh air after being in kind of the typical Metroid style area through, I guess you can call them the little dungeon areas or something. But I loved it. Of course, that's could be my bias is kicking in on that because I love Metroid so much. And it was just great to see another entry into the franchise. But yeah, I thought the music and stuff was awesome. Of course, I got the amiibo, so I was able to unlock the music to listen to while cruising through that desert world and not having to beat the game first. But I completely understand the complaints with all that stuff. But I thought the boss fights were just awesome and challenging. I was just playing on normal. And I think by the time I got to, was it the third boss? Maybe not the third boss, but the fourth. I actually had a death. And I'm like, man, I had to repeat it again. Then the fifth boss had a death, had to repeat it, and so on and so forth. I kept dying on a boss fight, which is actually kind of nice, like to be challenged in certain games. And Nintendo these days always wants to make things easy for you, but it was nice to be challenged. But it was not my game of the year. My game of the year, believe it or not, was the game everyone thought didn't even deserve to be on the list at the Game of the Year Awards, and that was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yes, DK Donkey Kong was my game of the year. That game really, I can't believe what they did with Donkey Kong. Like, that was just awesome. The exploration just went to another level on that game. Being able to punch your way and plow through the earth. If you haven't, the speed run of that game is just insane. The move sets you can unlock in it are awesome. The only downgrade for it was kind of like the boss fights as you're going through the game. Again, it felt like, man, these boss fights are kind of easy. Had a little bit of challenge to them as you got further in. But it really, the thing that tipped it over the edge for me was the final boss fight. And if you guys, I'm gonna go into the spoiler about it right now, so you can fast forward like a minute or so if you want to. But when King K. Rool had his reveal, that threw me off guard. I wasn't spoiled by it. It really did. Like I thought the final enemy was like the monkey guy we were chasing the whole time. So when he showed up, that fight commenced. Then it went into the fake credits with the Gangplank Galleon playing, and then it bust into this heavy metal remix of it. It was blowing my mind. I was sitting there geeking out. My son was watching me play it. He's like, why are you geeking out so much? Like, this is just so nostalgic for me. Like, hearing this song, this remix is incredible. And I just can't wait. It just gave me energy to want to just go to town on King K. Rool. And then the final boss fight with him was challenging. So it was awesome. That game was awesome. The music, the visuals. I never had any hiccups in the graphics or anything with frame rate, with everything that was going on in it. It was just awesome. So the key thing for me when picking a game of the year is fun. Was the game fun to play? Was it a blast? And it was. This game was just a blast. With all the bananas you could go and find, I was like, okay, I'm going to focus and get to the end here. I need to finish this game because Metroid was coming out soon. I'm like, I can't pick up Metroid until I finish this game. because then I won't probably ever go back and I just want to finish it. So let me just beeline through the story. But no, I would see, oh, there's a banana off this way, and ooh, there's a little dungeon I can go in, little mini game thing to go and get some more bananas. Like it just kept leading me. The fruit kept leading me into temptation and wanting to get it. So, it was just awesome. I loved it. So, Donkey Kong Bonanza, who would have thought? Over Metroid Prime for me. Wow, is my game of the year. So, thumbs up for me if you haven't gotten it yet. Get you some Donkey Kong. Play it because it's an awesome game. Other than that, Doom the Dark Ages actually was a disappointment for me. And Monster Hunter Wilds was a disappointment for me. It just, two games I was really excited for. And me, I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan too. I hopped on a Monster Hunter World and then Monster Hunter Rise. I put a ton of hours into Monster Hunter Rise, which is my favorite entry so far. And I was really looking forward to Wilds, but I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but something about the story loop just didn't feel good. The fights felt good, but just how you had to navigate through the story just was not fun. And I don't know, the screen just seemed really busy. Of course, it had its performance issues at the start, which I think they kind of actually released a new patch recently for that for Monster Hunter Wilds. But I've just pretty much beat the main story. I didn't put in all the post game hours like I did with Monster Hunter Rise. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll go back to it. I kind of want to go and play Monster Hunter Generations because I know Maximilian Dude before Rise came out was really hammering that one and like said he loved it. Like it's his favorite in the series, I believe. Like it's top notch Monster Hunter. So I have two copies of it and want to get my son into Monster Hunter. So I might just go into that and me and him do some co-op fun in Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch. So it's probably going to be my next Hunter stop. But other than that, really enjoyed Mario Kart World 2. Awesome game. Of course, I loved Dragon Quest. So the rest of the stuff I beat there, you guys can see. Contra, Rise, Son of Rome, Super Metroid was a repeat playthrough. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Returnal was a PC. I was having a hard time getting through that game on a controller on the PS5 just because of the quick movements you have to do with dodging and shooting and jumping in that game. Having to take my thumb off of the aim stick could just lead to death and inaccuracies. So with a mouse and keyboard, I finally beat it. It made it so much easier to play through that game, almost like it was a cheat code. Resident Evil 3 Remake, Still Wakes the Deep, Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Duelist Soul, which was on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Compilation on the Switch. Again, Monster Hunter Wilds, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Love all the Ghost Recon games and Division and stuff. Doom the Dark Ages, Superliminal. Really cool puzzle perspective game that I played on Game Pass, which is how I played Doom the Dark Ages. I was trying to work in Indiana Jones during that same month. It kind of worked out to where I was going to be able to play all those games kind of at the same time. I was going to do Doom and Indiana Jones, but after putting like 5 or 6 hours into Indiana Jones, I was bored to death. So I dropped that game. And then I think to save the rest of the time I had of Game Pass, I was like, let me find something short. Superliminal caught my eye, and it was awesome. Mario Kart World, Punch Out, Castlevania, Kirby's Dream Land. Both of those are repeats. Buster Bust Loose, Vampire Knights, awesome light gun shooter that I picked up this year. Castlevania 2 and 3, first time I beat those Castlevania entries for the NES this year. Castlevania 3, if you're telling me to pick what's the best NES Castlevania entry, 3 probably deserves the correct answer. It probably is the best game, hands down. You get multiple characters to play through. Graphics are much improved. Combat feels a lot smoother. It's a little bit longer of a game, so you want more gameplay time in it. Boom, Castlevania 3. And yeah, just multiple branching paths, multiple characters. Soundtrack's still super awesome. For nostalgia's sake, I still probably take Castlevania 1 just because I know it more. It's so nostalgic for me. It's still probably my personal favorite, but I'll admit, like, 3 is the better game. Dragon Quest 1 HD, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Donkey Kong Country. After my son saw me play Bonanza and how the ending went and how it's geeking out about him, I was like, well, let me show you kind of why this is so nostalgic for me. So we played through Donkey Kong Country, the original one on co-op. And I made sure for every boss fight, at least, like he would be the one to do the boss fight since I've done it before a couple of times already. So let him get the satisfaction of beating the bosses. And I mean, he's kind of like better at me than some of these old school games anyway, since he loves Mario and platforming. But and the minecart levels, I always wanted to make sure he was playing the cart levels because those are so much fun. So we beat Donkey Kong co-op together Country, and we started up Donkey Kong Country 2, except it's a lot more challenging. He's finding out, like dying multiple times on each level. I made sure at the beginning of the game to farm up 100 lives before we even got going because I know how challenging Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 can be. So hopefully that will be on the finished list for 2026. Then Fallout 76. Guys, if you have not, it was on sale for like $3 during the Steam sale. If you've not played Fallout 76 and you're a Fallout fan, you should give it a try now at least. It is so much better than when it first came out. Even I dropped it when it first came out. Like, this is an empty, open world game, no NPCs or nothing. But fast forward all these years later, it's a Fallout game to me. It is a Fallout game, online, MMO. It's awesome. I've been having a blast in it. The story quests are fun. It's just a really good time. Then, of course, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So, boom, there's the 25 games I played and beat. My game of the year, Donkey Kong Country Bonanza. If anything, really a big lack on the JRPG side last year. If you look at my list of games, I literally only beat one, which is so weird. I did not know that till starting to look at my list. I'm like, man, it's Dragon Quest 1. That's a short one at that. So, man, kind of disappointed. So I'm going to try to make up on that this year again. We started off, we got Clair Obscur, Yakuza 0, been wanting to play that, which is kind of like a beat 'em up RPG, a lot of leveling up and stuff in that. I want to get Trails in the Sky first chapter. I've already got it. I want to play through that this year. And then there's other probably JRPGs coming out this year I'm going to want to play. So how I'm going to find the time for all that stuff, I don't know. When you want to give time to a long game, I don't have the time to, if I can't sit down for 2 to 3 hours to play an JRPG, I just don't do it. So I just wait until the weekend. And then if you're only playing on weekends, it takes a long time to finish the game. So with that being said, that wraps up the game portion of it. Let me go ahead and hide the list here. You know what? Another thing I didn't talk about was like my favorite game pickup of this year, whether it was from a Facebook deal or find. And my favorite pickup, without a doubt, just because it's so nostalgic to me. Like this year, I did pick up some awesome 4 display only boxes for some Super Nintendo games. That is up there because I have an Earthbound 4 display only box. I went even sent it and got it graded so it could be protected. And those are so cool. Those are probably the coolest thing I picked up just because you don't see them. Matter of fact, let me go grab one real quick. We can cut it. Here it is. The Earthbound. Sorry, it's in this plastic holder. So it's from a company that don't exist anymore, WATA, that got bought out. I wanted to get it in these just to give it that extra layer of protection on this bad boy, just because it is so rare. I don't know what that mark is inside of it. It's not on my box, though. I think they put like a plastic around on the inside on another plastic, so it's just a tear in that. But can't believe 4 display only box for Earthbound. And then, of course, it came with a Super Metroid one, too. It came with a lot of cool ones. So I had to get this one graded just to keep it protected for the Metroid collection. So I got about 20 of these, I think, were in the lot that I got. There's like 20 of them and some really good ones. Super Punch-Out, F-Zero. So without a doubt, probably the coolest thing I picked up this year. But The one that's the most rewarding is that yellow Metroid I'm pointing to right now. Because if you guys know the story with that, I did a video on it. It completed my North American Metroid complete in box for every copy of the game. So that was the last one I had needed forever. That wrapped up the journey. Again, Scott Squatch, awesome, great, pristine edition copy of it. So that's probably truly my favorite one. But these boxes are just so awesome. If you've never seen a for display only box. Sorry for the awkward cut in here to end the video, but I just went on like after the game section to talk about movies and TV shows and stuff I've been watching this year. And it went on for another 40 minutes. So instead of holding you guys hostage for an hour, I'm going to cut you loose here and jump in and keep this just about the games and stuff that I played this year. So thanks for watching. I lost my voice doing the rest of this thing. It's getting all raspy now. But let me know your favorite games of the year that you played this year in the comments down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.